Hola amigos, bien ok, otro día bonita aquí en Medellín, ¿no? Entonces, nuestro tema para hoy, um, focus y también un por qué. ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué tú quieres estudiar inglés? ¿Por qué tú quieres estudiar español? Porque yo quiero estudiar español. ¿Por qué tú estás estudiando? Muy importante. Entonces es más importante para entender. So today we're going to talk a little bit about why. Why do you want to study the language? And why it's important to know why. Because if we're really honest about it, it's not a quick um, it's not a quick fix. It's not something we can do in a matter of weeks or even perhaps in only a month or so. To really get fluency and certainly mastery of the language, we need to prepare for a long period of study, months, maybe even years, till we really get to that level. But along the way, obviously, we can make this a bit easier. We can cut this up into smaller chunks, if you like, easier pieces to manage. For this reason, I say to all my students at the beginning, tell me why. Why do you need to learn the language? What for? Is it just because your boss has told you it's a good idea, or because your promotion depends on it, something like that? That's one reason, but that's more of an obligation from someone else rather than your reason. So if you can pick a good reason for you that makes sense for you, it's going to be easier for you to stay the course and put in the hours you need to get it done. And this is very important because I think sometimes people tend to think, oh, it's going to be okay, only a few weeks I'll be alright, or just a month. It takes a little bit longer than that, unfortunately. We have to be quite ready to put in some hours on this to really make the difference. But that said, if we look at different topic areas that we need, we can make these into smaller units of easier study, and as we add them together, then eventually we get mastery of that particular topic, and then we can move on and do the next one and the next one and so on. So it's still manageable, but you need to be aware that it will take time, and to get yourself ready for that mentally, really need to have a good idea of why. What's your reason why? So for me here in Colombia, obviously I really do need to speak Spanish fairly well to live here and be able to talk to my new friends and neighbours. So okay, that's a very compelling reason to learn the language. But as well as that, I've given myself some goals. So I know I did in a video recently, okay, let's make sure I can travel around the cities. Can I ask for directions? Can I get to places easily? So I'm happy I can do that now. My longer term goal, probably within the year, is to be good enough eventually that I can hold meaningful conversations on the telephone. Because those of you that ever worked in call centres and done that type of work in English or indeed in Spanish know that to be really good at telephone conversations takes practice. You need to be aware of particular types of language. There are better ways to ask questions to help you get the results you need. So my idea really is to get my language to a point where I can have the conversations on the telephone successfully. I think for me that will be a good measure of my level of hopefully near enough fluency where I can achieve that. So that's my long-term goal. But in the short term, I know that's going to take a long while. So what I'm going to do, as I've already started, is I'm picking particular small topic areas, small areas I know, okay, well this is something I need to be able to navigate on a day-to-day basis. So well, go to the supermarket, I need to get directions, travel on the metro, take the bus, visit restaurants or shops, small things like that. What are the conversations I need to have when I get there? Practice those, do my reading around those to improve the vocabulary, and really just keep repeating those as I go. And eventually, in combination, my vocabulary will improve. As I'm practicing reading aloud as well, my control of the voice and my pronunciation will also improve. So, given time, I should then be able to do what I'm set out to do in the longer term, which is hold the telephone conversations. But I have to have a good reason why, and so that's really it. My reason is, okay, so you need to live in the country, you've got to get on with the language. If you're just doing it for your job, think well about where you want this job to take you. You know, what's the promotion like? This kind of thing. So keep that in mind. The clearer you can describe to yourself, honestly, why you're doing the study, the easier it's going to be to keep going every day, even just a little bit, even on those days when you're not feeling 100% or you've got a lot going on. If you keep consistent with the practice, I promise you results will follow. So have a splendid day wherever you are, and we'll see you next time. Cheerio for now.